Okay, so let's get right into it. We're going to talk about this really frustrating problem, a paradox really, that I'm willing to bet you know all too well.
You get it, right? When you're listening, you can follow along just fine. The comprehension, it's there, no problem.
You're surrounded by English. You watch videos, maybe just like this one. You read articles. Maybe you even get through whole books. You're constantly taking the language in.
But then the moment comes. It's your turn to speak, to say something, and crickets. You just freeze. It's like a wall just pops up out of nowhere. So the big question is, why? Why does this keep happening?
So let's break down the real reasons behind the silent barrier. And, more importantly, let's talk about how you can finally, for good, smash right through it. The first reason, it sounds almost too simple, but trust me, it is the most important one. You are learning English, but you are not speaking English. Think about it like this. There are two types of skills. Listening and reading, those are passive. Your brain is just taking information in. But speaking, that's an active skill. It's a totally different ballgame. And here's the thing you have to understand. Speaking is physical. It's a workout. It uses the muscles in your mouth, your tongue, your jaw. It forces your brain to build completely different connections for producing the language, not just recognizing it. If you only practice the passive skills, you're basically training for a marathon by only watching TV. It just doesn't work. All right, let's move on to reason number 2. And this one is all in your head. It's that huge, paralyzing fear of making a mistake. And this really gets to the core of the mindset difference. Get this, fluent speakers are not perfect. Not even close. They make mistakes all the time. The big difference is they just aren't afraid to. But hesitant speakers, they're chasing this impossible idea of perfection. And that fear, that's the very thing that keeps them quiet. I want you to really let this sink in. Every single mistake you make when you speak out loud is a lesson. It's a step forward. The thing that actually stops your progress cold, it's the silence. Okay, barrier number 3 is a bad mental habit that so many learners fall into. You're constantly translating everything from your native language in your head. This process is an absolute fluency killer. Thinking in your first language, trying to figure out the grammar, find the right word, then translate it, it's just way too slow. It creates those long, awkward pauses and makes you sound really unnatural. The goal, the real game changer, is to train your brain to think directly in English. And you don't have to start with some complex idea. Keep it simple. Just start narrating your life with basic sentences. I am walking. This is my coffee. I see a blue car. That's it. And that leads us perfectly to our fourth and final reason, which honestly ties all the others together. It's a simple lack of confidence. Confidence changes everything. Seriously, the power of your delivery is huge. You could have basic English, but if you say it with conviction, people listen. They respect you. But on the flip side, you could have perfect grammar, but if you're hesitating and sound unsure, it just sounds weak. So, we've gone through all of the problems. Now for the most important part. What are we going to do about it? Here is your daily action plan to start making real, actual progress. Think of this as your new workout routine. First, you've got to speak every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Consistency is what builds that muscle. Second, talk to yourself. I'm serious. Describe what you're doing, what's in your room. It's zero pressure. Third, use a mirror. See yourself speaking. This connects the physical feeling with the visual, and it builds muscle memory. Fourth, record your voice. Listen back, not to judge, but just to notice your rhythm and where you can improve. And finally, repeat sentences from videos you watch. This is called shadowing, and it's incredible for picking up the natural flow and sound of the language. All right, let's wrap this up by talking about a new way of thinking. This is about getting the right mindset that will actually, finally, lead you to fluency. If you remember one single thing from our time here today, make it this. It's a complete flip of how most people think. You see, perfection isn't the price of admission, it's the destination. And the only way you get there is by actually starting to speak. So the call to action couldn't be clearer. Stop waiting for that magical day when you feel ready. Stop analyzing every single word. The time to start is right now. Today, with the English you have at this very moment. At the end of the day, it all comes down to one simple, undeniable truth. You can't learn to swim by standing at the edge of the pool. And you will never, ever learn to speak English until you just start speaking English.